charge of awarding scholarship to individuals who deserves it. So the question is, dear Nasa for Jane Ebeye as a scholarship secretariat boss. It's a way there, a drew on one, a 9-member committee who will be in charge. Said that he had said, I'm saying the year 9. May and Nama Lucius and Innocent. If I say 9, it's an opebia there, but Nasi. Near Babefre, Antaro, but now had also per scholarship. A date per scholarship. Near interview into O qualifier. Na fe minister na appending the signature na or the akokomano. Na asafo Jane now yes scholarship secretariat boss non kasa krano. Na wa kobansem. And this non-member committee is also eye nkofo aya appoint to omo a ebinom eye businessmen who are also politically affiliated to different political parties. They no nyame adomo a menya da jenma church mu ye pa e de akyeremo. And this is what is going on under the Ministry of Education under the watch of Yewra Haruna Idrusu. So please, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or the Vice President, Yemami Professor Gina Nopokwajiman, any all other stakeholders, and the NDC Chairman, any more Chief of Staff, Yewra Julius Debra, Muina, Mofamu Hunjesa Semuemu. Now we making sure say the decision will be reversed immediately and as soon as possible to making sure say the scholarship secretariat will be used to empower people and relevant people are omunidi na fiomoko to me rather than this 9-member committee every day they will sit and be discussing, and of course the board will not be able to pay them because they will be taking allowances and what have you. Nyame admo na we had a genius church. But first of all, I started the discussion with the scrubbing of the fuel allowances and what have you. Menko nanama ajaku hodumna. From the journalist point of view, okay, do you see it as a good move by the president? Okay, JB, NDC abawe no bibi onbeye bia no mo planning. They are just being strategic. I see. Se unim se echina reporter me call news portals no mi hu se echina na Ghana Revenue Authority ebe introduce 1 cedi energy sector levy na. Yes. Womo postpone ye echina and womo de beba. Yenim se NDC aban after 7 December, yeah, President Mahama started adwuma. First quarter the coupons eko. Oh yeah. First quarter. First quarter the. First half of the eko. First half, yeah, yes. Because you're 7th month. Sure, yeah. Yeah, pack quarter ho kra, yeah, second quarter. Yeah. Ye ni mu se senior bia no. Best 6 months a wo mo edi wa ba mu die. Ekwan bia so no. Fuel coupons eko. First sa energy levy e buy 1 cedi no buy no. Mse Ghana for buffet. You can post two near maybe what social media so me platforms. Okay, can wadrin. Maybe bo amadwini because me we say obi to say Shamima ama prat no me dey justify na wo mu defend o ma ye ready so mbetu ya 1 cedi no say o ma ye ready na me say like seriously who presidency ya ma free a coupon fu wa no beji ni free oji beji ni free ama ya ban san ba boka asa so kura che bia ma nkrofo se mukru no mukra coupon no mu benya bi enti na wan say yesi aba beji 1 cedi per liter wu na wo gina bontin na wo kiremu na wo defend na wo justify 1 cedi na 1 cedi enti serious me sa part na me buofu se omo a wo mu ntofu wo no omo na e defend ye dey e justify. E mo say me kasa ban we say bibia wo ye bia no e strategically bibia move na wo move no enti e kira na ye be introduce Ghana Revenue Authority e dis levy we say ban e na President Mahama e dis release we say ya ba fellas kwatro for so dia ba say henceforth o ye government official government appointee a who ni free fuel bia wo ba bia so be kwa akoto fuel who ko gina goil na wa fill wo tank na wo kwa adwuma wa so we yi engine so afra no pa kokotuma anwumre wo ko ma pa wa so we wo ko girlfriend ho no mo a na chese wa pack car no na ejesi so because unye free fuel enti eye because ni ebuofu say mumu ntobi always na chese ordinary Ghanaian na ensofa bedis ni nyina na esum de agu Ghana for so na just time bia no ye introduce new taxes new levy afensu kwa na existed ones na onum so kwa na yes system ye increase at the end of the day me ni wo any Ivan ye eti ordinary Ghanaian ye mobro wa for no the vulnerable in the society ye na ye suffer ye na ye be nkrofo se be nkrofo akro no ma ba bebo ni aka energy sector e ka da ho no mo ye bebe to ye over 80 billion and over 81 billion ni ye bu akonta na at the end of the day akonta na ye bu no
timamuni ya enye ne bone ne light bill otua ne mitebo ne fie otua omo aban ne koro no ono na esofa ne asanso abuka ne de agunu so wukomo ya ekaye da won ya ekeka esla ye introduce ye say na ye de kwaji loyi efa so be ne ba so ma Ghana ni Kania ye ti Ghana ha say ya under the leadership of your friend say former energy minister Dr. Meltupoku Prempe JB hwe meti wono me mitebo me fe postpaid I quite remember say baby am kotena ye no e be say 2023 eba 2024 early 2024 no na me bill eba 350
okay
a free bill June July eba na mitua 900,000
I see
ya make an announcement bia wa Ghana kan che Ghana ni say ya to a bia utility base mu be say 500% and now 600%. Only say installment of new meters no Ghana for complaining ye say what say ye prepaid ne bo ho no at the end of the month who spend be say 500 say who spend more than 1,000 but announcement bia free periods one mama me kan che Ghana ni say e bia ya to e bia utility base in Kania bo mu be say be 100% and I say be 200% and one say install new meters no na e twi boom 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 na de be ya ne say aban ne ba na ya tichire timamu ni nsa de agu na chi na ya call parliament na energy minister John Jenapo na wo chirem ye beto ka e ka no se ye nya efiri ho no mo a dumso be ye CV Ghana fo bebre e wo sen kania ni agina so na afa no ye de 1 cedi akwakoto woto ye friend say fi wa bia petrol diesel na say ene petroleum yi bia na ye de 1 cedi atoso na aban mu panimfo na fi wa no mu ntobi no omo na echirem o omo na justify ene ye betua nti se na President Mahama I was so trust na to hono ono udi kan na che se ye timemfo na de ye di akiri won se oti ne ma bi se yi a enye wo bufu enye wo ya enhya wa horoba won se president no wo tu anamon ye nyina na ya beto hawo nti ye nyina nya de ye mwa na sa wo hawo ne ye nyifa firi ho esan se sumu na ye de eya and then JB twade ne apie say government appointees government officials obi Anthony fuel ye wo Ghana ha say ni ye V8 de esi hɔ no mo a V8 no ye bufu we free de gum na ye de akonwa ye de president akonwa ele sim be bia president be ko bia no esa say V8 no enye ne sika na ye de toye taxpayers money na ye de toye
Mahama so ye bi
me kai former president me say 8 years etwa mu ekoye na president Akufo-Addo so ho Ghana for ka yenti obia na V8 tu pa na nam na ekọ na eba na ye de yesi makonwa ya president driver na etwi akonwa ni ye bufu we free enti president Mahama say wo Francis say ya na wo say wo ya na wo kode a edu ba bia mu oya se me kwa akoto fi wani introduce but that 11 kwa na o ma kire mu a me meti ase no emu da ho no plane enya de bia ha dwene bia enti so watwa support wana sa ma practice mi manom eno onwa mo John Jenapo nom mo ba beto fi well dia se nyina na ye ka
ne obi ahụ ma na
aha na enya bufu bia
aha Lucius when you coupon no that is government official
Miniam dasi I'm fa kwanyas na menchia wahwefo na menchia NDC fo abenso baje bra ba hwe ni nyina na eya asem de anopa ya yini mahu se communicate bisa enenam ayi media no so I se president I say political appointees no allowances are better ma be for full on and no with immediate effect fine ya information no ba no pa ya na no pa ya
accident no ma print no bende
and here in there say be betu bagu betu bagu o ko use no ba bia enye ayi
well
na eye asempa so wahu me nua won say before NDC ebeba aban mu no President Mahama any NDC fo nyina aka kire Ghana for say ye bidura ye be reset Ghana adenti ana Ghana fo nyina egitum say oman no apro atete asai esan MPP fo any na do abeba ye nua ba e kasa na o kasa bi Ghana be de akonwa si na ba so air condition asiso na be de nam Ghana abonten so enti na ahokire pa ye de na ewo ho ne Ghana fo nyina na egitum se ahokire den ewo ho enti na yehia obi a obeba ba den obeba ba gie ene ya President Mahama eba ye no the oye say researching no mpanimfo kan asem bi say bebo down free o bodam a o bodam di free
yeah
ha ayi bronin kasa bele charity begins at home
yeah
nti no say ne etie dia ministers a mewo anase ministers a meyi no ankane ohwe ministers na ado di kan yi ya okoyi about 125 ministers ewo Ghana high sea be nyina betika mu be wofie begifu allowances ahodo ni nyina begibi ebo oman no ka eni nti no ebra so say ye nyina no ye be den ye de niam bi a ebetimi aboa ma ye ho ayeden ahenhan ye agu akwan mu eni no ka say 60 ministers no be den obeyi enti se ohwa ministers a nanado eyi no president mama eye na dwen se odimu be half pe eni be ebebu man no enti se o calculate V8 anka minister betinam allowances ahodo pediums ahodo ne fie ne security ene ayi housemaid nasefo no nyina saa sika no ebeba be den ebeba bebu oman no futum amede aide ede abobra I think last week in the Ivan call a meeting via na for National Development Planning Commission na be can be about say or share mortality rate yeah mama mo abeko awards wa bemba fee na ekosoro what you say na emudodo na nso ye ade a akwati say ye wachefa wom anase aban no wachefa wom out of negligence ka ho bi ne ebi nso ohonum a enema bi ananka ese ya ntimi anye enti no president mama kraka ese ayi wo hwe this assemblies no common fund na akona wa task be say every year bia no this assembly bia NC one chip compound what you say
I say every district assembly bia na ye preso to me see one chip
yes
compound.
Year bia afibaku bia no say we see chip compound
I see.
Na we say no e be possible nso dia na chese ye hia sika what you say say o calculate chip compound and the year ukọ nkurase na na say baabi a materials no a wo pɛ no kra no ne bo fam na wo hia bɛyɛ around 100,000 Ghana cedis what you say and I say 800 yes sorry around 800,000 Ghana cedis na what you get then what you di asi wo hwɛ ye schools ahodo a ɛwɔ ɔman yi ma yɛ baabi a nkura da so ti enuase ɛne den ɛne eco school nti sɛ ebenya sika de akoti chip compound ebenya sika ɛde akɔ si schools ahodo ebenya sika de atɔ textbooks ɛde amankura na ɛkyerɛ sɛ aban mu mpanimfo abɛ no nso no bae den banya baabi agina no enema bi abe enjoy say etimi den yetimi yi so kakra enti anyina no ye eche no kakra enti wo ho no ma wo ti V8 ma na wo ti air condition mu no ye hwan wo de no so kakra na ya nya sika de ato futuo mu na ya tumi de den ya tumi de abo oman no ho bra me bi hu ne say ya asempa ebri bi atwam na ente saa what you say be catch say oman no emudin a time bia be catch say emudin no ade ba ko be besen adwen ho ye say be begeto what you say na ba san ya den ba san di a live big enti wa abreko MPP for na be catch say oman no mu ayeden no be introduce e-levy be oman no mu ayeden be introduce betting tax oman no mu ayeden na fuel air kosoro oman no mu ayeden na offense dollar no so ne bo ayeden ne bo air kosoro enti e ma ho kire kese pa ayeden e be toye o Ghana haisi enti no me no de meka say e ya sempa ba be wo political appointment no e ma be ngu no so say e ye ade bi a e ye hate bi wo hu say aban no pese be ho e kire be no what you say because say wo hwe oman ya yetim na wo hwe kwan a me kai bribi ayi nsoko but your ba pinfo bi free honum eba when Methodist hospital na unim sa awo kan the previous day no na awo kan no na benya ka emfa no de emfa no mba
I see
what you say nti ade chi na say bidie ka bi ko ho bidie ka no ko
bidie ka
o ko akura na si o bidie ka ko akura na si a no ko fa ni bidie ni be sere no eye kia ahu ne bed no to Kia no.
Hey.
Ne Kia yi body aben pa sa no ba hospital. Na bedru no. Na ayi oba no na se ahom be sisi.
Oh.
Because na akra no de ne nsa.
Oh.
Na eba. What you say? Entimi senka be woni aba che compound bi wo ho no. Ne happen ye bede no ko ho no ma. Megidie say enka nurse ni a owo ho no no. Ebetimi asoso ano kakra. What you say? Ansa na bed no ede aba ayi ofrense district hospital and I say any nearby hospital. Hwe oko ayi hospitals ahodo na and I say district hospitals na. Ko hwe kwan amanfo asanlai. Ewo ho no. What you say? Obo ho ma ni issue no mild issue bi sa and I say enya de bi a ewo suru bi a be obekwa kodi lies so wa abrekwa nka bi a chim compound wo ho no malaria simple malaria bi ni okọ ye na bi a behwe na enka no ho beto no but obekwa kwan akọ district hospital no akodi lies wa minimum mekai incident bi a obi take queue room o ti queue ma okọ head doctor sa otwo no wa wu
oh
enti piniko no ono so ti ho ansa na later be notice say wa wu what ho what you say enti no ensem bi wo ho no ma enye desa enti no hu ni say a good move ni president Nana ateki say at least say ministers no for allowances no so and me crowd me hu say your other allowances bi mu ho no ma yeah say betimi scrap is allowances no every ho no nanka at least ya timi dey ahwe the other sectors no so
okay Ivan, before I say about Honor, my main cow said the minister in charge of local governments, chieftaincy and rural development, and religious affairs. Actually, assembly members, April, May, or more allowances, no 1,300. They call into assembly member be our Ghana Habiano. Oyere and Naukunu, I get 1,300. Why? It's Okasa scanning for your boy. Ivan, I'm into
you. Salary bow now, so.
Aye.
What salary bow now?
Oh, that be America.
Yeah, my mencha na mencha what here for. Na menka say governance.
Yeah.
Is about the people. So in any proper governance setup, Biano is premised on the welfare and the collective gains of majority of the people or more minimum at any point in time. And policies and programs of government, always, as I reflect these daily needs of people, and like from a policy background, you can say the policy first of all, you look at problems our minimum, so you tease these problems out. Now what weave solution. So that solution, so by the time a policy in the Bible, now it is seeking to address the basic challenges now we're finding within. So that is the whole concept of the policy coming up, just to address society problems and then as a form, I bet me enhance nipa capacity to do better. In recent times, koto abano na adia ba ko na a bone of contention because of social media, they are very open. People are very much concerned about has to do with the way government officials and the government now kasa some silly expenditures and the blow monies away. The very people who are supposed to be beneficiaries of a government that has been set up, don't benefit. Now, the very few people who are able to get to the top of the pinnacle, and I said the top of the triangle, almost become richer and they become comfortable. But I have told you, so that is not governance. Governance is supposed to have a far-reaching impact positively on people. And this particular fuel allowances, first of all, my more President Mahama Abaso for doing this particular thing, because it is something that has been on the lips of Ghanaians for so many years. I have sat here on this platform and my Kahwasem say it doesn't make sense. A teacher ni or not chra maybe or get 3,000 or no. Yes, onto fuel. Now will be or no a minister or access to huge money in as a form of does it make sense? And these two people are working for the same motherland. Does it make sense? So it doesn't make sense. It defies this logic, common sense. And as a form, over the years, we think their power is being in a privileged position, you enjoy yourself. That is all that political power, the concept has always been about. Until the very moment you are appointed as DC MP, you feel you are better than the rest of the people. Until you must be treated special. Then as a forum, that mindset, and I don't know where it's coming from. But you see, all these things in a colonial mentality, you inherit it. My culture say in the colonial period, we say the governor of Ablekuma, I now represented the Queen of England as a for so.
Yeah.
At the time, when somebody is coming from UK to Ghana, it was seen as a risk because that time not civilization you can die anytime. Malaria or there was this tribal conflict over here, say Asante, British war, this. So when somebody is walking all the way from UK to Ghana, that is seen as a risk. So Abrafun making sure say you be compensate you handsomely. So they will give you big salary, they will give you allowance, they will give you a security, they will give you a garden boy, they will give you clothes allowance. Then as a forum. So these are colonial inheritance because the panoban or be taking risk. Until they will compensate you with all these things. Misgiving because share the goodies around now. You accept the queens of and come.
Yeah.
So after independence, and I'm saying this colonial inheritance, and I realizing say young Cassan ye hoso, and here now judge or security or cook or wine garden boy. Sankrofo in a state in the two or security, your money clothes allowance, your money disallowance, your money disallowance. All this nonsense of allowance, so yes, yeah, Pama Brofuna or Moko become baby dear so. But the way we benefit, we invited all these things, and the black man is okay with it. And a young say ye dear hosono, yes, there. So I think that this is a breakthrough policy where President Mahama as born about because it doesn't make sense. Said government official because I own top petrol, an ordinary person should. And over the years, keep on and you say Nipanaji on the issue. Some of these keep on young lady 22 years, no good car boot. Friend, they will be near Saman. So I know the day, some of these privileges we abuse. So I know the day, obete expenditure from government are huge. But you look at the developmental aspect, there is absolutely nothing to show for. And I mean, you can VAT, you fuel, nama petrol, you the air checker, and as for. Does it make sense? You understand? But over the years, and so I never win in our course. Emma, your friend saying a Bianca. So for me, I think that this is a great move by president, and I think that he should continue. For me, the fuel allowance alone is not even enough. One thing this per diem people traveling. It's absolute nonsense. It is absolutely that makes sense. Debbie, so you are not going there as an ordinary person. You are going there by the virtue of the fact that maybe you are a minister and you are performing your core function. At the end of the month, they pay you for your core function. So traveling out, why must that come with extra? And the funniest part of it all is so football space na GFA for na se for na. Per diem no mutia ma mo ho no. E so chen salary o moje.
Oh yeah.
What I say? And all these things go away. Obi betime to kwan JB from Hawa Koomson kwaye program. E bia program no betime wie one day aba. But when him say we spending more days abenya per diem ntino, the person will stay longer because the more you stay, the more you get your per diem. You understand? So I think say yes, reset here. These are crucial areas we must look at and focus. We say resetting now some of these per diem or necessary per diems and then as a form of this fuel disallowance. Man for we say you have two positions and your privileged position will be live as a lord on people. Now it is an opportunity to come and serve the people by making sure core thing is we impact it positively by making sure policies and programs of government will have far-reaching consequences on the people. So see, I'm not here. Analyze the economy now, but people are mentioning GDP, but inflation. And as I can just say, upon all these metrics, they assess whether the economy is doing well or not. The fundamental thing I give you micro analysis of an individual has to do with the Human Development Index, because I don't know, talk about your overall health. It talks about your friends' education. It talks about your social and your friends' economic well-being. Young far individuals when you teasing out in terms of some of these things. Now you who say how and a Ghana for your near my SCT. So for me, I think that these are some of the things that you have really a mind to. Now you make governance, any positive impact on people. Now you making sure say some of these minor things over the years, so na power na say ye de enhance ye ho ye de empower ye ho ye de nyasika na asefo ni free. So I think that government deserve a lot of commendation for doing this, and for me there are other areas he must also look at, because Ghana for the year penny said the burden will be lessened. Yet here few years ago, the president did a press conference telling Ghanaians, former president Akufo-Addo, catch say, "Yen tighten your bet." Na your face because on my own ayading.
We are not in normal times.
At the time, no president bet your trust and nation na who could create new campus about bet, because at the Jubilee House you saw the amount of money that they were wasting there at the time. You understand? People were telling him, so if you want us to yen tighten your belt, one so size of government and huge and fast will be a mass, so let's try to resize it. But that particular wise counsel hit it on a snag. Nobody listened to anybody. So for me, I think that this is a good move, and it's in line with the concerns of Ghana for raising. It means that President Mahama Kwatena and China was signed by Bibi, and he's listening, working on the dictate and the demands of the people. Okay. Because these are some of the things that na Ghana for here means omo ban be ya mo enti na ya da sorry na say aban ento fuel ma obia should buy or no ankasa the way. I think that the same thing should also be extended to individuals when it comes to electricity na say for nom na obia na you make sure say ye nyina ya that the same line, so or salary allowance or everything abenya no and be determine the cost of living eba sa na ebe ma obia your friend saying a clear picture of the real state of the economy. And to say you can't have the economy no more idea. And yes, I will fuel free into Obia will appreciate say indeed or mine more idea. Say mine koya Obia will appreciate, because these are people sitting at the policy table. So if they feel the heat, that's Obia over another day, that will factor into, and DSTV then as a form of over the years, the amount of money you blow in all these things, does it even make sense? You understand? DSTV, does it even make sense?
Jubilee House, Flagstaff House in Chile, Afibia no mudi ne cost Ghana 1 million Ghana cedis. In Chile keke, maybe a president did now in Chile and Senior Fakrafa Zoom. At Afibia, the budget 1 million Ghana cedis and the ton Chile.
No, sir, when the system is weak, everybody will exploit it to their advantage.
Share NPP and Mguasie 2024. Some of these issues.
Yes.
Because time I work crisis, yes, regional tour. And then presidency expenditure now reported by you spend fuel 51 million Ghana cedis, car ties, batteries 15 million Ghana cedis. Some of these issues, and that's some of these stories. About Ghana full. So
yeah, so these are things that Ghana for and JB, governance are projected to a level and every single Ghanaian out there no enim dia koso. Me say sa okọ makola na kwesi ama me oton toma. Na won na ka politics nim dia owo no e bia kra ya TVC ni sa nim dia no. People have grown to appreciate politics to the sense say ade bia obeye bia no they can read meaning into. So when you are government, I don't think say we are still in 1990 where you think the people are gullible folk to don't understand anything. I'm telling you that Ghanaians are well enlightened, they understand policy deep in and out. They understand. So I think that some of these things meeting the immediate needs of the people like the president has done. No? For me, I think that it's positive. Right. Ghanaians should commend the president for doing this and also ask him to do more. Because I can't just say until per diem, yes, crappy flu, or I will not be happy because I don't understand why we'll be too quiet in the Juma. Juma is why we appointed the person to go and do now you see extra cash money. Does it make sense? You understand? Okay. And the some of other things that we need to look at. For instance, the president to quiet. Just say yes, where will be in monetary and name. Does it make sense?
Lucius, my memory before summer call the number honor. Now, Ablekuma I'm saying young camp was of course, ye na who they see or honomo. Mama will be a Dr. Cote d'Ivoire so Frankoma Hawa Koomson training also. There's a pain and what day. At the end of the day, the NDC won. What does it mean to the NDC? For the first time in the history of our republic, from 1996 till now, NDC winning abandoned that. For the first time, NDC winning that abandoned. But beyond abandoned to honor, the quite as if we're pocket of issues to see or honor. What does it mean to the good people of Ghana, our democracy, and going into a by-election? What are the consequences?
Okay, JB Midase. for the first time in history, NDC are winning ever home. I don't know. Despite the fact say, nyano ebia 100%. What you say? But then, me give you say, Oshe, amamu papa air kosona, no kahubi, enema NDC, winning. Entino akwatia die so a ye kwenu no wa regime say NDC ebesan awene.
I see.
Na die course na no no ade ba ko amesre MPP fo emi say benko to be fie ansana emi no say ye be kan bibi ana say bibi be si Ghana ha ya be de ba no aba bi da bia meka say MPP party no I dey agu be okana be feel say be boa o say o hwe ayi elections ya ye be call no 2028 na no na be kire say NPP party no agu after 2028 election NPP enti ma power bill no kwase mpa no
commissioner
and ne air call no party na agu.
Oh, okay.
What you say agu na mbom sesie no enya de a bebehu until say be call general election na bebehu say be results na eda 38 no esu ahwen aba be 16 e ho mo bebehu say be party na dey agu de ntia me ka say yes say onim say enra be call national council meeting
yeah eno na mo call
enra.
Oh, I see.
Na be call ye no mamen na aye friend is afi
yeah
afri ye ekọ patch o say party no mom a take decision say ben contest the election no na mom onu mom ye den ekoye say obeka ya before elections no regional secretary ba bonche be kai say enya dia NPP air contest da oka asasem no na ye Monday na mboa.
No, it was on Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yes, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday.
No, can say party no decision. You say, and now they are contest the election. No.
If I don't call court na court failure no, call high court a court about injunction ni guye no. I'm buy on BSR press conference. So it was I think Wednesday, Thursday.
Or grantee interviews be brave. I can say, and now they are contest it. The who ya ni say, Adiachi na mami. And the cast and crew or a campaign. Now, then Pani Baba say party I take a decision. Nani Paba for Atimi I and I been say decision now party kakakanu na take no or no fenya juma. What you say can the can no near to sumienu the same party now okay say on contest no the next members na be concede dey say be contest no campaign about one na ba san gina ho enti no me tin say ma me na akwa patch say or contest no mbisa won say all patch na what happens to the same people na all patch no where were they not there the same people na be take decision say be nko no be so na be ho nti say wo patch say wan ko wo ye den
contest now.
Contest now. Then what happened to them too? I didn't tell Besso Ben Patch or say Besso Becker say young contest in Suya.
But they no uncle. Most of the key party officials know the likes of the general secretary uncle, the chairman uncle, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia uncle. But I think say Osmai.
Mahmoud Bawumia Osmai. So Yehu
Canada Japan. Canada Japan is not a executive member.
No, but say or any personal aid.
Well,
or any other spokesperson rather.
What can the Japan?
No, I mean America Abuaji.
Well, America Abuaji for
sure. Canada Japan or Hunting can say presidential aspirant 2024, which is Canada Japan. No home. What you say? Prospective aspirant Brian Champo on the first and donate sika.
Yeah.
The mama.
Yeah, sure.
Wahoo. Entino, what you say party na Kasam says here, Obi say the center cannot hold. And you be chairman obo say chairman no one con say chairman ankasa hu no krache
and chairman to say all so what tro krata kraka say opeso gina home kakra yeah
enti no me komanim no ma membra ne course wo horum abato na e course wo horum no me who say journalist be police ni bi ball na su yeah manu yako I think say adena police ni no ye no wanya de any crime pontini by the by interdict no wanya de no matter what minim ade pa ne obi ebe ya obetimi ahwe na su tesa etu wanya de na mom maame Hawa Koomson ono na sem no de ne kan ye no wahu sometimes o koka I say minim Ghana for ye true hypocrisy o kan I say be pese on mihu hwe de di kan me eba bi ti say affirmative action bill me one of the crusaders me gitum pass say mba 18 ba bi gina e wo yamanyo semu ne o hwe president mama nso e wo saa gidie no eni nti a oba e na appointees no o hwe na o appointee mba bebri in actual fact this is for be appointee be kurampo no o ko district bi a ayi oba eka ba be pe ayi DC no ho a o yo oba na o ka ho
yeah that qualify the bema
o de bema what you say enti no one men so da say yebekọ ayi abato na pinche ebeba men so nye to so mienu men so say obabasia anase obatan yebeye no ye no ayi na no eno no nso men so na mom jebi o kan Bible na wa ho or say, happy are those who from now die in the service of the Lord. Yes, indeed, they shall enjoy rest because the results of their service go with them. Now, my point to what the results of their service go with them. Will numa ebedu wachi enuma be ni di ha kumsi achi. Impanimfo ka say dia ahwe dia ba afiem ono a anything once na yeden e baaye. Wonye MP sesei, wonye minister sesei. Onye executive ewo MPP mu sesei yeto aba na wakoho a wokoho as an observer meboa as an observer no eba ne sen ne okoya inner perimeters no ukogina ho no wakogina ho more than 1 hour what you say eba ne sen so ne okọ no ukita pepper spray na chese waboa ho.
Are you calling someone china now? Are we investigating no?
Yes. One kasa here say you investigate because the intention to even commit a crime nankasa a crime. The intention to commit a crime in itself is a crime. And you know me jitum say ba no ana obi ne otu fa de ti ko head no bia no san krofo no be here say you investigate be. What you say he said the nipa no tuma kwan me menye police ni me menye lawyer what you say however onu nso ma me kro na no ne say police for no faso ana kwan I said no faso bia no said no faso jebi nya ne edi kan di this is somebody a onu ankasa timi ma be snatch ballot boxes some time ago the same person ti ye wo bi wo ho ma wa hwere ne nkwa Hawa Koomson ti obi ahwere ne nkwa e okrum ha the same person e shooting ni opponent body guy ne sa nipa no e den eko yade enti no se empempi no se utu ofrensen akuafo a na utu momone nsofo what you say enti no ne person di ko wie se maame no Oma nani na ho me feel say nkasa abre we say no nka wasua bibi because chairman won to me ba honum no me hu say ne osikasa aye me tun say at least kakra fa na ni aso na dwimu ada ho na dwimu ade na dwimu ada honum anka ne na ban na e wo so ne na odi ni mre ntu asem ene aban no ni ho biem enti the issue of say obekwa kodi boni awie na wa hide behind say wo ye minister na say wo ye MP no ene atwam what you ko tutuo ma ebisa say denti a ukita tuala na odi tuo no ebo ho ban mate innocent brebo na
jebi
and be 10:45 why
jebi and I saw stand the count I think so, because this is a big issue. I think that menya so we had the course so Ablekuma it's really shameful, very embarrassing. But said the media is kind of segmented into 3 areas. Number one, first, over kind about videos over cultural say under Akufo-Addo within the MPP, no. Your friends said intellectualism was sacrificed for idiocy. And I think say now me say I don't know obi oti bi abeti ase me nim kwan for some mechanic but their course so our Ablekuma leading to no a clear manifestation of this whole thing. This is a political party that will go into a major elections and will suffer the most humiliating defeat in the history of Ghana. At the expectation of every political analyst, looking at the magnitude of Mulusu, and say, I said, near me, a party no will come your friends together and be able to float. Yet, what by way, such conversation will be have yeah, that's sorry. I almost say elections in Nasefon. But you see, event leading to this elections here, of course, now heard the position of the party. This is a general secretary of a political party. Why your press conference? Party executive general chi and elections near the Samna court or Mobueti, you boycott elections. That's fair. That's fair because he's the your friend said the CEO or the administrator of the party. Sure. Having wearing certain enormous executive authority over the party. Then after the press conference, the lady in question, the candidate, goes from home to home campaigning against this particular instruction at the general secretary at the Aba. And the woman now all go against the general secretary. One call alone, a significant number of the party executive under general secretary were seen at the ground fine this grand way with impunity. So the question is where lies leadership among the leadership of the MPP? Because if the general secretary can make a statement and that statement few moments after will be defied, clearly a party is suffering from leadership crisis and that there is the need for them to come together and mend the pieces. And I mean, who said my platform way, my post to President Kufuor, and some of the revelations are all making it very shocking. Yeah, sure. President Kufuor say no MPP and they and when they are making decisions, they don't even consult him. That's true. Now MPP party no buzia dankwa tradition eguye. And you are not as Kufuor net me when power more. And Onyanduru age, I can't say I'm so he's expecting say, baby Ojina as Obi ultimate MPP when the power perma party number power no and whenever they are making key and strategic decisions that you involve Kufuor in the decision, but he has become irrelevant in the our managing party. That is the consensus that Kufuor raising. So same way, for credence to some can have that say the party is not of rebuilding. Now, impose candidate to be on the party, the upcoming elections. That is the priority of the party, and it's the reason why you see this fractured leadership. And in the election they were going to lose because, baby, I'm not sure say anybody was willing to vote for party one lose power where they messed up with this country, and then things are trying to pick up. Obia might want to pick MP at least go to get something or the and for me that is okay. And Debbie, I think that security wise, I think that IGP and the boys they did a very poor job. Very poor job because in terms of security organization everything was poor because I work kwanya metro mind me BCG that particular your friends say wena. Yet here we've talked about vigilantism then as a form. I was West Wogan, I have fresh on our minds. Near my course, so the horror I share on TV and as a forum. The last thing anybody expected, and the kind of nonsense we saw our Ablekuma South and Ablekuma North and as for because you see it was totally needless. But my question is, some metro mine or more betting cutting, why not do a more again? This back and forth now ANC, we saw the police, we saw the attitude that. I said the course no do not inform because they were not armed. Exactly. Yes, of course. Nobody was even in a tactical gear. And then as a form, you cannot go into an election ground and assume say, oh, everything is going to be okay. So police in it doesn't make sense. You understand? So I think that the grand strategy by the police in dealing with this particular matter was a bit some way. And again, so security elapsed here. Then people with advantage because political individuals will always have political interest. You understand? How about the issue no more? It's unfortunate these things happen, but you see, answer na overcall grounds, already you grantee interviews or no, or call grounds, and people and the woman he has a very terrible track record in terms of the hooliganism. Then as a for I am no man for a luso mobusia for what I say. And to call radio so and say when I wear my new Van Dam in town. Oh, call grounds. People will meet you and come out pepper spray and as a forum. So I think that we condemn this act of violence or your back near man cause and everybody see. Yes, say 1 2 who for now with the science and who call we are see I'm for this it's quite unfortunate but what the way forward is I expect the security say see we cannot just brush it aside because look at where Ghana has gotten to in a democracy we cannot continue to accommodate them in our elections or making sure say every single person be involved will be investigated and will be prosecuted. Unfortunately for us there are video footages out there and JB after this elections we must not forget the sense of the Electoral Commission. So we are here today because of the Electoral Commission, the incompetence and the kind of things of my here. Possession about removing the Electoral Commission as a for no, we must not sweep it under the carpet because election has gone, people has won and as a for these people still pose a significant danger to our democracy, and I think that all the people sitting there at the Electoral Commission, they must resign and go home because none of them are fit for purpose.
That's it. But that's it. Quick one. The number.
JB, my main for President Kufuor briefly.
In 30 seconds, what?
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Say partner sideline no.
Yes.
President Kufuor, founding member of MPP. And then our president, our MPP, Hawa Koomson, on here permission, every Kodria, just in Kodria, and I say national chairman, Honomo, and son and the party, and you may be enna, were criticizing, and I say we're making some corrections. Party, no, every baby now drew some, so we say President Kufuor Ghana, has say, ya, Uncle baby, meboa. Because na Kufuor be president no hwekata shini buga ni bukata ne ya bronco for pafoko same crab ne ye fe ne se wo mo former kwableja kwa kwa ye mo fa so o te se president Kufuor bo ho wa mo ho wa wanka ho bia president Kufuor ye statesman former president time Ghana for who president Kufuor as statesman ye time NDC wa be mu Mills Mahama 8 years from 2008 to 2016. But 8 years I na Kufuor be because me car me time na so. But so 8 years Mills Mahama do so president Kufuor kasa de fa ho. Ni refi ni so be to crisis no one the one fix. The only thing I otimi here na say wo to draw ben so efi Ghana ekọ Nigeria say West Africa gas supplier ekọ ye wo how beto Ghana so. Ebra crisis ahokire ba ye under Mahama. President Kufuor kasa de fa ho. But 8 years under one kasa ni political party na aban no. Eniema eye worse than they see here Mills Mahama no. Basa fa ho. And the President Kufuor here permission free just in Kodua and as party ni peli bibi bone e koso. Wa ba be ka che Ghana obian sideline no.
That's it. Nana mama that's it. Lucius, mama that's it.